What's up, everyone, and welcome to Be Sacred Space, your place for endless growth and possibilities. I am the amazing, intelligent, and beautiful creator of this amazing space. My name is Bianca, but you can call me B, and I'm here to help you master yourself and live a conscious and empowered life. So, if that is something that you can vibe with, please make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it, as it would really help this channel. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the introductions. Sorry that I'm a little bit late. I mean, not really like if there's anybody on here at this moment, but was just cleaning up the house and kind of got a little bit behind. So we're here now. So this segment is called Chill, Vibe, and Thrive. And this is where we just hang out, we just relax, and it's not really educational, though we're always learning. It's just more of a kickback. So grab your drink of your choice, and let's just get into it. So if anybody is interested in chatting with me during this time, please leave a comment. I saw, um, yeah, I saw that you could add people as you go along with this. So if you guys come on and, want to, come on and talk with me, that's fine. I mean, we're here to talk about almost anything and everything. So yeah, it's just really a relaxing day. I came on here because my intuition just told me to hop on the live. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing here, but we're gonna be doing it. So anyway, let me write something down. So let's go into like kind of updating you guys from the channel. I just released a video on a wellness power box, and these are the tools and resources that we use to support us in this journey. So if you haven't watched that, please make sure you check out that video as well. Yeah, and I'm currently working on releasing the spiritual self-care episode. I'm hoping I can drop that off in 2 weeks, but we will see. It has been quite hectic over here. I don't know if any of you guys are subscribed to my Instagram, but for the last like few weeks, my family has just kind of been going through it. Like my daughter and my son got sick, and the duration of their sickness was like 2 weeks long. And then they didn't get sick at the same time. So that was pretty rough. And then during that time, I also kind of thought my son might have a concussion. So it was very stressful, which he did not have a concussion, but it was still that worry that was a possibility. And then the week after that, my fur baby, he got really sick. He was like throwing up his food, and then all of his stools were loose and they had blood in them, which was pretty terrifying. And then he just started throwing up blood, and it was it was a lot. So then we had to take him to the emergency vet on like last Sunday. So it's just been a lot. So haven't really had the chance to, work on crafting this new video that I am dropping for the self-care series. Again, if you guys do not know what the self-care series is, it is a series that I have going on right now, which is a 7-part series all about how to nurture and care for your whole entire self. So it's a 7-part series, and the video that I'm working on now will be the 4th video in the series. And then after I drop that video, I will be taking a break from the series because I want to create something that goes along with these videos to like really help you guys out. So I'm going to kind of put my focus on that for some time until I get those out, and then I'll start back up, which I'll be super excited because after the spiritual self-care, we're going to be talking about protection, self-defense, and all of that fun stuff. And this is a topic that I truly do enjoy. So I'm excited to, bring it up on my channel. So, yeah, I'm super excited about that. One moment. So, like I said, please be patient with me as I drop these videos. I am a full-time mom, and my kids take up all of my time. And so, yeah, it's been fun. Me and the kids, when the kids were not sick, we made butter, which was super exciting. And the kids were really happy that we were able to make our own butter. And it tastes amazing. It was awesome. It was very simple. Our mixer broke in the process of making butter. So we didn't even get the cream to like a whipped cream consistency, but we worked until we did, like until we were able to get it where it got. And then we put the cream in a mason jar, and we just shook it. We all took turns shaking the cream until it became butter, and then we had butter, and from the butter came the buttermilk. So then we used that to make pancakes. It was awesome. And then after that, after we made the butter, we then made homemade pickles. Not canning. I tried canning one time. Seems complicated. I'm interested in getting into it, but we'll see how that works out. But we made like refrigerated pickles, and I thought it turned out really good. The only thing I would do is I wouldn't put as much garlic in it, and I would not put peppers in it. But oh no, it was really fun. We were supposed to make sour cream, but I got not sour cream, sauerkraut. But I these last couple of weeks kind of beat my butt, so we did not. But besides that, that's pretty much update on like what's going on in my life like immediately, and the projects that I am working on. um I don't know, I'm going to be taking a break from Instagram. I don't know why I'm sharing this. um but I was trying to grow my Instagram platform at the same time I was trying to grow my YouTube platform, but that was stressing me out. And so now, like, I think I'm just gonna put all my focus on to YouTube. I like this platform a lot better. My content's not really like entertaining. So I feel like it really doesn't kind of belong on Instagram, though I do love Instagram. And just the things that you can find on Instagram. But yeah, so I really want to try to put more focus on my YouTube. If I could do it, I would love to post every week. But right now it's kind of looking like I'm posting every other week. So we're just going to work with what we got for now. But let me know how you guys are doing besides everything that's been going on in my life. I've been pretty good. I've been kind of trying to take it easy lately because, like I said, it's been very hectic and very stressful and very demanding these last few months. I mean, these last few weeks. So I just kind of been taking it slow and trying to like take care of my body and nurture myself during this time. So, I've been doing like breath work. That's really kind of been helping me out a lot. And unfortunately, like we're getting like decent weather where I live at, but it's not getting like really, really warm. So it's been kind of a bummer. It's been gloomy a lot, and it seems like the weekends it's been gloomy and cold, which is unfortunate. But I still have been able to get out and hula hoop, which I'm wanting the warmer weather because I love hula hooping and I can do it inside, but I can't really fully express myself the way that I like to indoors. And if you guys don't know that I love hula hooping, hoop dancing, if you are interested to see, what I do with a hula hoop, you can always, visit my Instagram, which again you can, well, not again, I don't know even why I said that, but you can find the details in the little ticker that's scrolling across the screen. But yeah, I post some of my videos up there, which I started doing because I realized that I was trying to make my Instagram like professional. Like I felt like in order to get my Instagram, like to grow my Instagram, it had to kind of be like professional. But then I realized like my Instagram, like my YouTube is called Be Sacred Space. Like it's my space. So I'm starting to post more like myself and, kind of what I do, just so, you guys can get a little bit of look into like, who I am, but then also like, so I want to, I don't really care what people say. I don't have a personal Instagram account. This is my personal Instagram account, but it's also like my online presence as well. So I'm not sure if I should make those separate. So let me know what you think, and I would be happy to hear your opinion because, again, like I said, I am taking a break from Instagram to just focus more on YouTube. So yeah, I'm super excited. So a little bit more about what's been going on with me. I've been watching some anime right now. I am in the middle of watching One Piece. Uh, I was watching Naruto because that's like my favorite anime, and I've never finished it. But it got boring for me, so I just put a pause in it and I started watching One Piece again, which I do enjoy One Piece though. This recent arc that I'm watching is it's a little boring to me, but I'm going to stick through it. One Piece has over 1,000 episodes. So I do find myself taking a break from One Piece because I just cannot watch a series that long consecutively. So if I have any, like if any of you guys are like anime fans, please let me know what animes you suggest. Drop them in the comments because I would appreciate to hear what you guys have to say. Like I mentioned in the previous video that I just dropped, I have four favorite animes: the Yu Yu Hakusho, Naruto, One Piece, and Attack on Titans. I love anime. I just like what you can do with animation over like real life. And then I like a lot of like the spiritual philosophies and meanings that are put into anime. So if you guys are interested, I highly suggest that you check out one of those animes. They're really good. Attack on Titans, if you are going to be a beginner, like if you're going to start watching anime, I would suggest Attack on Titans. It's very intense. It's not for the weak heart. Like it's very intense, let's just say. But it's really good. And they're like I don't think there's a lot of fillers. What they put in like a lot of anime shows, so like they'll take a break of like from the sequence of the storyline and then just make like random episodes and they'll put them in there. uh Naruto does that way too much. One Piece does it, but they don't do it as much. And I was just watching an episode of One Piece and they did a crossover with I don't know the other anime, so I do apologize for that, but they did a crossover with another anime and Dragon Ball Z, and I really, really enjoyed that. Like, I thought that was a really unique idea. So yeah, let me know what you guys like to watch when it comes to anime. I also watch with my really good friend. We watch Game of Thrones. Uh he has never seen Game of Thrones, and so I have seen it. Well, I've seen up to season 6, so I've not finished Game of Thrones though. I'm a very curious person, so I've looked into, you know, the rest of the season. Uh I don't know why I'm just impatient like that. But so I kind of know what happens through the storyline, but I'm still very interested in watching it. But we've been watching Game of Thrones for a few months. We only watch like a couple episodes every week. That's kind of like what we do to like relax at the end of the week. But we've been watching that and we're on season 3. Probably next week we'll watch episode 9, which if anybody has seen Game of Thrones season 3, everybody knows that towards the end of the series things things get crazy, and so I'm super excited to watch it, and it's been fun. Like, I really enjoy Game of Thrones. Now the storyline, like some of the storyline is a little bit like I don't know, kind of cringe, but I realize when it comes to like the show and the books, I mean that's kind of it's kind of its theme. So it is what it is, but yeah, just been watching Game of Thrones. I don't spend all my time watching anime, or well, sorry, I don't spend all my time watching TV. But when I do, me and my best friend, like, we've always kind of had like a tradition of like ending the week with like a series. So we're watching Game of Thrones now. Before Game of Thrones, we were watching The Boys on Prime. I think Prime has The Boys and Gen V, which we started watching Gen V, but then we had like a whole lot of questions because Gen V is actually a spin-off of The Boys. And so then we started watching The Boys, which I wasn't into at first, but then it got really good. So I'm excited for them to drop the next season. But yeah, I do like watching TV when I have some downtime. I grew up with TV, unfortunately, but I love it. Moderation, right? But yeah, that's pretty much like all I really have to talk about. There's not anybody in here, so I don't really know what I'm doing. I did, I do feel that I'm called to channel a message, which I don't really channel a message for public. I have friends that I channel message for, and I've done it as a service, but it's not something that I have really shared on my social medias. I'm sorry, back when I started my Instagram, I did channel a couple of messages, but back then, excuse me, back then I didn't feel that I necessarily was in a position to. Uh, yeah, but recently I've been taking my, I'm just going to say spiritual journey a little bit more serious and been connecting with my ancestors. And I've learned that I actually can communicate with those on the other side. So I've been really working on that lately, more just for my personal life. But I do feel that my ancestors are calling me to bring channeling into the public. So I guess this is a great segue. I don't know if that's the right word to kind of introduce it. So I do not use tarot cards, as I feel like for me, I personally would like to study them more than to use them as channeling messages. So I have a deck that I have created for my own personal self to help me communicate with my ancestors, because learning more about my roots and my ancestors, being diviners, channeling spirits, is kind of a ancient practice, and I do feel that my ancestors are calling me to kind of dip back into our ancestral roots, because a lot of my family members now do not. A lot of them are more religious. They do like they're more into like Christianity and things like that. So it's been an honor to be able to, learn more about my ancestral roots and, just tapping into the wisdoms. It's actually pretty wild because I had a lot of these like beliefs and knowings from the last like 8 years of my life that I just kind of just knew, or just from information that I have gathered along my path, and just like, I make my own decisions on what I choose to believe and subscribe to. But then when I uncovered one of my lineage, which is from the Igbo people of Africa. They practice a spirituality called Udinani. And when I was doing my research on Udinani, um, a lot of my beliefs that I just knew is a lot of the beliefs of my like of that ancestral practice. So, well, that spiritual practice. So it's been pretty amazing to see how everything lines up. So I'm going to just pull a couple cards and see what the ancestors and spirit has for those who will be tuning in to this live. Oh, I do apologize if that's loud. So in the meantime, please let me know in the comments, though I don't know if I'm going to keep this live up. We're going to see. But tell me in the comments, how are you guys doing today? What are your plans for the weekend? After I get off the live, I am going to go enjoy some hula hooping. I think it's in the 60s today, but it's very gloomy and it's windy, which if you ever hula hooping in the wind is not always the easiest. But we're gonna go do it because that is a way that I used to take care of myself. It's a way that I used to express myself. And yeah, it's just fun. Alrighty. So the message that I am getting is that there is a lot of distractions that a lot of us are being confronted with. At this time, we are being asked to like face these distractions, face these toxic behaviors. If there's any areas in our lives that we are feeling codependent in, we are being asked to observe these patterns. If you are feeling fear, guilt, and shame during this time, if you're feeling doubt, what I'm getting that this time is presented so that we can look and observe these patterns, these beliefs, these things that are troubling us, so that we can work through them, so that they're no longer becoming a factor, a problem in our lives. And so I know that this can seem very hard and difficult to like deal with, especially like if you're always going through this in your life. Like for me, I dealt with a lot of mental health issues early in my life. And even though I'm no longer depressed or suffer like severe anxiety, like I still have, guilt and shame and fear and just limiting beliefs that play out in my mind and in my experiences. And when you're dealing with this like all the time, and it kind of seems like nonstop, it can be easy to just like want to give up, to throw in the towel. Like if anyone has ever had a repetitive negative mindset, then you know what this is like for that inner voice to continue to just beat you up and just bring up all of the wrongs and imperfections that you have. So hold on one moment. But don't give up. Like, find the courage that you have within yourself. Find the strength that you have within yourself. If you need support, if you need to cry it out, scream it out, yell it out, yell, scream, I guess that's kind of the same thing. But like, if you need to process these feelings and these emotions, do it. Because the only it's like an old saying, but the only way to get through something is to go through it. And sometimes we have to go through the uncomfortability. Sometimes we have to listen to, not listen as in take it for facts, but sometimes we have to listen to those negative thoughts that keep playing in our mind so that we can uncover what these thoughts are really trying to show us. This is a time for like self mastery, because it seems like a lot of what's going on in our lives is kind of dominating our perception, our actions. It's kind of letting fear take control. So this is the time to find your courage, find your strength, and be able to face, what you uncover. You've got this. I know that you do. Like, trust me, like, I've gone through it in my life, and even though I've done a lot of work on myself, um I still have lots of healing and work to do, and I'm at this point in my life where it's easier for me to face those inner demons, the inner talks, um all the stuff that tells me that I'm not good enough. It's easier for me to face them and to, deal with them without like wanting to run or avoid them. Is it uncomfortable? Yes, a lot of the times it is very uncomfortable, but it is important to become comfortable with the uncomfortable. um I don't know. I think it's really just kind of one of the best ways to heal, which is kind of a little off topic. I will get back to the message that I'm channeling. But so a few years ago, I've gotten into the law of assumption, which is kind of based upon Neville Goddard's teaching. I mean, there are other people, Jane Roberts, when she channels a being called Seth. They don't call it the law of assumption, but it pretty much is the same basis of the law of assumption, which basically says that our beliefs, our inner thought, like our inner dialogue, our mindsets is what our mind kind of focuses on. So let's say you have a negative thought of, like, you have just a mindset of lack. Maybe you grew up poor, never had enough, whatnot, and that's your mindset. Like, maybe you grew up in the hood, and that's kind of the environment. So that becomes a belief, rather you're aware of it of not. And so as you go through your life, you'll kind of have that lack, that poor mentality, until you go in there and you reprogram that those beliefs. So that's kind of what, like, the law of assumption. I know that was kind of a um terrible example an explanation of it, but there is a community. It's kind of like the law of attraction, but it's the law of assumption, which really focuses on, like, changing your beliefs about your experiences, changing your beliefs about yourself. It's called self-concept in that community, which I do not associate myself with that community. I respect there some of the people that are in that community. Because of those people, I've really learned how to master my thoughts and my beliefs, and to create physical change in my reality, which is still a process, but it's been great because there's so much you can do with, with this information. But anyways, what I want to say about the law of assumption community is I think that community can be very dangerous, because there's this belief going around in the community that no one has free will. And so in this community, a lot of people are manifesting significant others. And so it's a little toxic because people want love. So they use it to try to manipulate, mentally manipulate that person, which I don't really know how to explain it. So give me a moment. The people in the community, they kind of want to manipulate people because they don't really understand that the work is not about changing somebody else. It's about changing your perception, your belief, your concept of yourself, which you can get pretty much the same result. But I think the manipulation comes from wanting to control other people. And like I said, there's this belief going around saying that no one has free will, which I'm going to say this, and I know that the people in the truth community are probably not going to like this, but that's kind of true. There is no free will, but there also is free will, which is something that I wish that the law of assumption community could recognize, that there is free will. Like, everybody has free will. You can't have free will and then say someone doesn't have free will. That's not how it works. See, we are a part of a collective, and because we're a part of a collective, we are all connected, regardless if you know another or not. We are always connected, and we are unified by one consciousness. And because we are unified by one consciousness, that means we can influence everybody, because everybody essentially is one. But we are all out here living in individual experiences. So that's important to understand. So that when you are manifesting change, or let's not even say like you're trying to consciously manifest, when you are wanting something in your life, like, let's just say, I don't know, I don't know. Let's say you want some flowers, and then you think about, like, I really should pick up some flowers. I want some flowers. I want someone to give me some flowers. I deserve some flowers. And then for some reason you go to work, and I don't know, the receptionist got a bouquet of flowers, and for some reason, they don't need that bouquet of flowers. And then again, for some reason, you just happen to be there at the right time, and they're like, hey, would you like these flowers? Like, we're just gonna toss them, but if you want them, you can take them. Like, and you're like, wow, that's a coincidence. Like, I can't believe that I just got flowers and I've been thinking about flowers. Like, no, you influenced that result to happen. People had to fill out your, sorry, people had to fill out your desires. And so this happens like all the time. Like, okay, another way to see it is, say you're thinking about somebody, and you're like, I wonder what they're up to. And then you get that text like, hey, I was just thinking about you. And you're like, wow, no way. Like, I was just thinking about you. Like, you or that person just had the thought, and you influence the other person without even recognizing. So we do have free will, but we are also influence other people. Can I change that? I am so sorry. I thought that deleted. There is no special guest, so we're just gonna turn that off. I thought I changed that, but it kept it. I don't know if I just didn't save it or what. But yeah, like, we can influence people, and we do it all the time. So I love the community because it really taught me how to consciously manifest, but I also think it's a very toxic community. Also, there's a lot of people in the law of assumption community who talk about that you don't need to heal, you don't need to do inner work, you don't need to do shadow work, and I get where they're coming from, because like we create all the time, whether we're conscious of it or not. We are always creating in our reality, and it doesn't require us to do the inner work. But if there are certain things that you're trying to bring into your life and there is resistance there, that means that there is some inner work that needs to be done. So I think that the community has become toxic, but it's also a great community if you find the right people. Um, who I would like, if anybody's interested in learning more about like the law of assumption, I recommend Dylan James. I think his how he approaches like consciously manifesting is not forceful. It's all about, taking that time to work on yourself, regulate your nervous systems and your emotions, and really owning your power. And I love him. I highly recommend anybody who's interested in learning how to consciously create and who wants to kind of get the information in a way without all like the BS and the fluff. I really can't think. Like, I do know one more person who I'm gonna mention her, because I do love her. Like, honestly, it was her who really got me into conscious manifesting. But she is one of the people who says that you do not have to do the inner work, which again, there's no hate to her. I have much respect. I love her. I believe in what she does. I've never seen the amount of successes that this woman gets. Like, and I can testify, like, because I've listened to her teachings and applied it, I have consciously manifested a decent amount of stuff in my life. But her name is Sammy Ingram, and that's Ingram, Ingram. So those two people I would really say to look into, though I would just recommend Dylan James, kind of over it, because he kind of more focuses on like improving the self. But yeah, so I don't really remember why I got into that spill, but yeah. Uh, yeah, during this time, let us, be brave, be courageous, and deal with our shit so that we can overcome them and live a better, well rounded life. So I'm just going to pick out some final messages, and then I'm going to go close out and go hula hoop. Oh, the weather is nice. I think the weather's supposed to drop to like 14 degrees tomorrow, and it's supposed to be raining. So it's gonna be like in the 40s, and it's gonna be 40s Monday. Like, I just cannot deal with this weather. Like, back where I'm from in Ohio, like they've already had 70 degree weather, and it's like, ugh. When pictured myself moving, I pictured myself moving to a warmer place, not a place that's like 8 months of cold, 8 months of winter. But it is what it is. I like it here. It's beautiful. It's beautiful stay. I like the people out here. Very, very homeschool friendly out here, which is pretty great. Uh, big advocates of gun rights. It's beautiful, beautiful scenery. Like, I tell everybody, I did not know I needed mountains in my life until I live somewhere where mountains surround us, and I love it. So the last thing is pretty much just like it's time for us to master our minds. A lot of us are dealing with a lot of like chatter, a lot of like what's it called? Monkey mind, monkey chatter. Like we're having a lot of thoughts that are telling us like we're not good enough. They're feeding us all of this bullshit and all of this negativity. But it's time to realize that we are the ultimate source and power in our realities. So if we want our minds to stop being so against us, that we have to master our thoughts, which means we have to confront them. We have to allow ourselves to face, I mean, to like observe and to face what we're seeing and to reprogram that with new beliefs. I think I did talk about reprogramming and nurture your mental self. If not, I will try to talk more about that in the in the Grow self-care series, which would be the fifth, no, it would be the sixth video, which I was pretty excited because I'm hoping to drop some more wisdom of how to work with our minds. Yeah, but I feel that as the collective and those who are tuning into this, that we are being called to bring our life more into balance and harmony. And yeah, let's see. Final advice. Um, if you guys have not looked into your ancestral roots, I recommend that you do. There is a lot of wisdom and information that can be gained by going back to our roots, which I do believe in the self care series, the spiritual self care. I will be talking about going back to our roots. It's something I've kind of been debating, talking about the ancestors. Because honestly, I thought when I was starting this channel, I was hitting more like the truther and freedom community. But then I feel like that kind of limits me and what I wanted to produce. Then I kind of like got into like the spiritual thing and I was like, I don't know. But then I realized like that's all of me. And because this is my space, that I should share all these parts of me, and working with my ancestors and looking into my lineages is something that I've been doing for a few, like 6 years. And so, yeah, you guys are being called to look into your ancestral lineage. Um, which is pretty cool because I found that I have a mix of awesome lineages, like the Fulani tribe, which was like a nomadic tribe in Africa, the Igbo people. Uh, I found that I have Norse Viking in me, which has been pretty awesome. I've always been fascinated in the Norse tradition. So that's been pretty fun. Looking more into that, which there is a guy who's really like kind of big into the Norse tradition that I have plans on having on my show, which will hopefully happen within like the next few weeks, but we'll see. But yeah, I highly recommend looking into your ancestral lineage. I said that a lot. You'll be fascinated what you find and discover, and what you realize that a lot of what our ancestors knew has been like removed from our cultures, removed from like just our knowledge and our basic common sense. But I do see right now that a lot of us are working on, building something for ourselves, rather that's, a business, a platform, a legacy. Right now I see a lot of people are working really hard with that. I also see that relationships are forming. So this can be like friendships, this can be with your family. These are people, like, these can be coworkers, friends. These are people that you're going to be working with. These are people who are going to be assisting you. So yeah, it looks like things are going to be good. It just looks like that there's a lot of healing and a lot of inner work that needs to be done right now. So be brave, have faith, stay optimistic. Life's not as bad as our thoughts and minds and circumstances like to believe. Remember that the power always lies within you, and there's literally nothing that you cannot overcome or achieve, because we are the source power. Like, we are the change. We don't have to look outside of us for change. All we need to do is know who we are and work through all of the BS that they told us, and realize that we are the ones who are in charge of our destiny. But that's kind of it. I don't really have a whole lot of much. Kind of felt like this was a lot of rambling, but if you stuck around to this point, if you have come to join me, I appreciate your support. It was great having you guys here. I hope you guys have a great weekend. I hope you guys always remember how fucking powerful you are, how loved, adored, and valuable you guys are. Um, if you guys are interested in more of these kind of relaxed, laid back videos, please let me know in the comments. If there's anything that you would like me to talk about or address, or if I don't explain something as clear as you would like, please let me know as well. Um, I'm getting a little bit more confident on the camera, but it is a learning process. But I am so grateful that you guys have been here to support me on this journey. I am truly grateful and blessed for all of my subscribers. I know it's not much, but it really does mean a lot to me that you guys care enough to support me, rather you watch my videos or not. I'm really grateful for that. And with that being said, you guys have an awesome, awesome day, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.